Lessons to learn from the dead. What lessons can we learn from those that are gone, those that I did? What lessons can we get from them? One thing as you get older, you realize that some things only hit you once it's gone. Let's say your best friend passes away. All of a sudden, you realize that this thing called life has an end to it. For the most part, sometimes I'm not saying we should carry around a somber attitude in life because we going to die. Well, even though that's the truth, we should be celebrating the days that we have that are good and just tackling the challenges that we got that we have to face. That's just a reality. But one thing you tend to learn, especially if somebody close to you passes away, especially if you knew them, you knew that they were just like you, plans just like you. Especially if it was the type of person maybe you felt they were wasting their life, maybe they were gifted, they were talented, they had a lot of things, a lot of ideas, and you knew they could have been great. And all of a sudden, especially if something just bad happens, and then something unfortunate, and then they go, they're dead, they're gone. What lessons can you extrapolate from that gone person, the person that's passed away? The point is that it's a reminder to streamline your life. It should be, because that's what it does to me. Every now and then, let's say a friend goes, somebody passes away, or I find myself walking around somewhere when I'm traveling, and there's a graveyard, and I look around at the little plaques from time to time, and it just tells you that this person was living, had goals and dreams, and then they went. And oftentimes, especially when they're younger, they were not expecting it. They're gone now. They don't have a say so in this life. And then that brings me to the thought, what ought I to do knowing that I'm going to die? How should I live my life? Based on those lessons of those that are gone, you ought to streamline your life in such a way that, one, carry yourself with dignity. Do not argue with foolish people. We spend a lot of time, you could be sitting there, at the bar with your boys, and there's always somebody that likes to argue with you, wants to prove themselves right. Just know that it's not worth it. Is it worth the stress? Don't waste your life on those type of relationships, male or female, that are just spent in argumentation, that just draining. Remember, when you are born, you are a valuable individual on this earth. When you are gone, you cease to be. Okay? So when you are gone, whatever it is that you're about is going to be gone, your essence. So utilize it to enjoy this life. Challenges have to come in this world. That's just the way it goes. You got peaks and troughs. You got highs and lows. That's just the way it goes. But you have to streamline your life, and you're like, okay, this is not important. I don't need this thing. I don't need this job. I don't need this country. You can literally drastically repackage it based on the alarming message. Sorry, where I am, I'm near by the roadside. I apologize for that. You can, based on the alarming messages of those they've seen that have come before you, and say, hey, he was a clever man. He was full of good ideas. Now he's gone. So how ought I to live? As a father, this is how I'm going to live. This is what the children will see of me. You can change it. As a man, or as an entrepreneur, as a businessman, when we start to reflect on the fact that our life does end, we can live in such a peaceable way. Sometimes we don't want to be living in the city living. Like I'm moving towards off the grid living. Off the grid. That's what I'm trying to do, because I find more peace there. So the essence of what I'm trying to say is, be triggered by your friends who have gone. It's sorrowful, yes, but let that make you repackage your life in a way that you realize that, hey, my turn will come. So how am I going to live if my turn going to come? Am I going to be spending time having, am I going to be wasting my life using abusive substances, like, aggressive drugs or things that people do? Am I going to spend my time doing that? Or am I going to be chasing women? Some men are addicted to that, chasing women all the time. Or am I going to spend it reading? Am I going to spend time teaching? Am I going to spend time doing something that when you turn around is going to be recognized? Remember, this is the big part. No matter who you know, who has lived, no matter how good they were, people are quick to forget. People are quick to forget. Let's go back. Tupac Shakur. He was a loved rapper. Everybody loved him. I'm using celebrities as an example because we can all relate to them. You know, there was Tupac. There was who was a Barry White. You know, I'm older. You know, there was those people, Whitney Houston, and you can remember that person standing on stage singing. You had a vivid memory because they were alive. There was that, what was that lady, Princess Diana? You know, those individuals that once were like prominent and doing things, or they were seen, they were known. But now, who knows them? Nobody. So that's going to be the case for you too. So now, make sure that your mark is really a mark. So live your life in a way that's glorifying the Most High for sure, but in a way that reduces all the nonsense that we put up with because we feel like we got time. I always think that sometimes you don't know how long you got. I mean, we don't know, but I think sometimes we just need to take it like, hey, it could be tomorrow. You know, not to live in fear, but that means maximize what you got. Seize the day type of thing. You know, the point is, remember that those who are your friends who have gone, they should serve as a reminder to you that your time is going to come. And if your time is going to come, then how ought you to live? How are you going to conduct yourself in light of the fact that your time is going to come? I said enough. Peace, love, and blessings.